Okay, welcome. My name is Guillaume. I'm from Energy 2050. We're here at the Energy 2050 pavilion for COP23. You just have a very nice event here at the pavilion. Can you just present yourself and talk about your activities?
Certainly. My name's Paul. I'm an electrical engineer by training, but I've worked for 30 years in renewables at the Centre for Alternative Technology, where we're trying to reshape the relationship between human beings and technology to make technology work better for the citizen, but within the limits of the planet. And so, over the past 10 years, we've been looking at all the different changes we need to make in housing, in energy, transport, food, diet. How do they all clip together to give us one collective solution that can deliver on the evidence base of what the climate science demands? So 10 years ago, we first launched Zero Carbon Britain in the UK Parliament. Over the 10 years, there have been enormous shifts. The price of wind, the price of solar has fallen faster than anyone imagined. The trend is in the right direction, but will we get there in time? So more recently, we've been exploring what are the barriers to change. How do we overcome those barriers? So the new report, Zero Carbon Making It Happen, offers a toolkit to citizens, to all the people that we heard in the audience tonight, to help give real-life examples from real-life projects on the ground that are pioneering new relationships with food, diet, land use, transport, but also cutting-edge research that's showing how we can overcome these barriers to equip citizens to become leaders in their own community. The people who get it, the people who are involved in Energy 2050. We are all leaders. We have to show leadership and project a positive vision, because simply showing people pictures of frightened, worried-looking polar bears will not change the world.
No, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay. And just a question. So you work on different scenarios, I suppose, for Zero Carbon Britain. In your opinion, do you think it's possible that at the horizon 2040, 2050, we can be, at least Britain, but also other country, can be zero carbon? Or it's just a direction we should move forward to, and to be as low carbon as possible?
We have done very detailed modelling using 10 years worth of real-world weather data, model hour by hour by hour, that shows with existing technology, with the technology we already have, we can get to zero emissions within 2 decades. It's not a technology barrier, it's a leadership and cultural barrier. If we have that cultural shift and roll forward, millions of jobs, enormous amounts of income come in to fund schools and hospitals from generating renewable energy. But beyond that, we can have a sense of collective purpose, like we're doing something important together as a society, which is really lacking at the moment. Yeah. If we go back 100 years, what we were doing together was we were providing milled corn, we were providing food, we were providing water. Now so much of that is just shipped in and out of communities. Communities have lost that sense of collective cohesion. But by reshaping it to help deliver the Paris Agreement in our area, we can find a sense of collective purpose that will revitalize our hearts, I think.
Okay. So it's the true sustainability. It's not just carbon, it's the whole thing.
We can do it, and we can create a better world in the process.
Okay, just last question. I mean, you talk about leadership, so I'm guessing that you are but you are working with also decision makers and so on. I know that COP23 is a good it's a good place to be, to work with these decision makers, with these leaders. But can you tell us a bit more about what it represents for you to be here at COP23? You had the opportunity to do this event. I'm supposing that you have other event plans. Can you tell us a bit more about what it represents for you and what opportunities it offers?
It offers us an opportunity to share the positive vision that we've created over 10 years with a wide range of people. But we don't just have the vision for Britain. We produced a report, Who's Getting Ready for Zero, that looks at 100 scenarios from around the world. So the opportunity to share the positive vision is very important to me, because people who are out there who are campaigning hard against the things that are wrong, against fracking, against coal, they're working very hard, and they are supported by the positive vision that we say, no, we're not doing that because we can do this instead, which is a very useful tool to support change. But also we're passing the message to the delegates. We're going around the country pavilions, sharing it, going to the country pavilion saying, do you have a vision for zero emissions shortly after mid-century for your country? If not, then here's a whole range of tools that can help you develop it for your country. So it's a real pleasure to be here in amongst such an inspired group of people. We just have to show we have all the technology, because it gives the hesitant policymakers nowhere to hide.
Well, just to from Energy 2050, because we are used to work with people, and it's very important for us to have this positive message, which is based on solid science, solid methodologies, and to show that we can do it. There is no fatalities. So thank you very much, and you're always welcome on this pavilion.